All right, everyone. I'm so excited for this episode to have a good friend of mine, Sarah Carlson. And she's actually the founder of Fulcrum Financial, which is a full financial services group here in Washington State. And Sarah and I are just great friends. We've worked together in some nonprofit arenas and wanted to have a conversation with all of you today around how you can really set yourself up with a home business to have success financially for your future. Before we dive into the nitty-gritty around how someone who's either just launched or has been working in a home business for a while can set themselves up for a great financial future, I'd love for you to just share a little bit of your story, because you're an entrepreneur in your own right. And I think you just have an amazing story that's going to motivate and encourage everyone here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, money for me has always been very curious and interesting from when I was a young child. And so I actually went to college and thought I would be a doctor, and didn't really enjoy. I went to Yale University, didn't enjoy those classes, but I took an economics class from Robert Shiller, and everything made sense to me. And so I ended up becoming an econ major. And at that time, certainly financial services was and still is a booming industry, and was predominantly men. And I knew that I could compete and compete well. So I joined the industry, and it was in that process that I joined a company and went through the system and got all my licenses and training. And then I realized the company and system I was in was more about selling product versus solving problems. And so that's when I wanted to, it was really important to create a company that gave fiduciary advice and put the client, people at the center of everything we do. So 24 years ago, I founded Fulcrum Financial Group. We're based here in Spokane, Washington. And it's been the best career move I've ever made. My home office, my back office is with LPL Financial. And so through them, I have 10,000 very talented people that can help us problem solve for any situation. And what I'm very proud is we don't have minimums. We're very into diversity and inclusion. We're one of the largest, most successful financial offices here in the region. And it's just so, it's been so fun to be helping ordinary people live extraordinary lives. And we do it through financial planning. So we do wealth management, but with our wealth management comes comprehensive individual financial planning. And it gives myself and my team members a lot of lift. I mean, kind of a funny fact is when I go on vacation, I'm on the beach and I'm really relaxing, I like to study the market and economic.
That's so great, though. It's great. And, you want the person that you're going to trust with your financials to kind of be a little nerdy around the financials, right? You want them to love it. And I love that you do. And I also love that your business is so relationship based, because I think that's one of the reasons that people are attracted to the home business industry, is that they want to do something that is relationship based. They don't want to do something in that transactional mode. Everyone's really grown tired of that. But at the same time, so many of us that start in home business don't necessarily come to the table with a ton of business background. We learn about these opportunities. For many people, they start out as some kind of a side gig or a side hustle. And then at some point we have this awakening where we think to ourselves, wait a minute, this could be something bigger. This could be something that I really want to take seriously. Or, wow, this is consistently providing me with some level of income. Now what do I do? And so we've talked a lot on this show about the marketing side of things and kind of the management side of things, but I'm excited to talk a little bit about the financials and not about the day-to-day financials of your business, but how you can really leverage your business to provide for your family and for your own financial future.
Yes.
So as you think about the home business owners that you have as clients, or if you think about this industry, what are some of the pieces of advice that you would give to people as they start to plan for their financial future?
Yeah, that is such a good question. And I know from our our conversations that you work with a lot of home business, and a lot of those business owners are women.
Mhm.
So in directed towards, as women, we tend to take care of everyone else, our clients, our partner, our children, even take care of everyone else's needs, that there's nothing left. So I think one of the important things for your business owners is to be clear about some boundaries that they have. And one of those boundaries, I believe, needs to be self-respect. And one of the best ways you can show yourself self-respect is paying yourself money for your future. Treat your future, your financial future, just as important as you treat your banker when you make your mortgage. Big.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm curious, let's say that someone's just starting out and they're not even at the point yet that they're maybe making a significant income every month. Is it ever too early to start saving toward your financial future?
It's never too early and it's never too late. But the important thing is putting action behind it.
Mhm.
So even if it's $25, $5, $500, whatever you have in your budget, if you can help build systems in place to help basically train yourself to those behaviors. So I had a client that could not save. She was a massage therapist. She could not save money. She just, money was in her pocket. She burned it. She had, she didn't have any kind of future. And for her, what worked was a box. And she agreed, she just put tips, only her tips in this box. And suddenly she had like $50. And so like she started her plan with $50, and systematically it changed her behavior. So I think it takes about 21 days to truly, create a new behavior. And this particular woman, it transformed her life. Suddenly she was empowered. She was putting more and more. She did not change her lifestyle. But suddenly she had a nest egg that she could invest and put into. I helped her put it into a mutual fund, into a retirement account. And what was wonderful was she did come into some inheritance at some point. It was a small inheritance, but she knew what to do with it. And she wasn't tempted to blow it and go buy a Tesla or, that she was able to retire early. And to this day, like, she lives an amazing life. And she doesn't have an extravagant lifestyle, but she's living life on her terms, but she does have financial freedom. She's financially independent. So it all started 25, $5 in a tip jar.
And that's why so many people also step into the home business industry, because they are looking to create an additional stream of income for themselves or for their family. And they don't necessarily want to do that by getting a second job, because they don't want to spend more hours away from home, or there are a lot of women who are at home with children, or who don't want to go back into the workforce the way that they did prior to kids. I mean, there's so many reasons, and the industry is largely women, for sure. And that's great. And in that, we find that you're right. Women don't want to pay ourselves first. We want to do everything for everybody else first. So I love the idea of, even from the beginning, creating a discipline around being able to save, even if it's, $5 a week, $10 a week, $20 a week. It's creating the discipline. So then as your paycheck grows, what you can set aside grows. But if you've never created the discipline, it's much more difficult to integrate that once your paycheck is a bit bigger. Absolutely. So also, when it comes to basic management of a home-based business, or things that you could see that an entrepreneur starting out, what are some things that you would suggest that they do to kind of avoid some of the pitfalls later that they might face as their business grows?
Yeah, I think some basic organization of your records can pay huge dividends down the line. If you can separate your personal and business expenses early on, and an easy way to do that is with getting a separate checking account for your business life, and then also a separate credit card. I personally think as small businesses, if you can put money on a credit card and pay off the balance each month, what it does is it creates an accounting system that's really easy for you to access anywhere. And then there's some cards that pay nice bonuses as well, for travel or other things. But if you can organize that, then as you grow and you need to delegate and some bookkeeping, it allows them to access those things remotely, and you can be anywhere. Your bookkeeper can be anywhere in the world. It also limits your liability for theft. So a credit card, one thing that people may not know is as long as you pay it off in full each month, because if you don't, the fees are very, very high to carry a balance, and your viewers probably, your listeners probably know that. But if you because if something gets fraudulently charged on your credit card, you are not liable. You have zero liability. You literally can call up your credit card company, and it's the person who charged who has the responsibility to prove that you were the one to charge it. So it's great from a liability versus if that was a checking account and you have cash in there and someone found out your bank routing number, it'd be a more challenging and more expensive mistake of them wiring money out of your account.
I love that suggestion too, of really creating separation from the beginning, because so often what I find in coaching and providing education for people in the home business industry is that people are in the industry for a while before they decide to start treating their business like a business. But another big piece of what we do in this industry is we teach other people how to have small businesses, but none of us are necessarily financial advisors. But this is advice that we could simply pass on to those of us that choose to join our organizations and say, you know what, here's a simple way for you to get started. Just keep track of your monthly expenses, separate your expenses, and rather than just taking all of your commissions and lumping them into your personal checking account, put them into a separate checking account, cover your costs, and then pay yourself from that account. And also make sure to pay yourself by saving a little bit of money too. It sounds like absolutely amazing. So Sarah, any other last tips that you can think of for the person that is in this industry or just starting out that you'd want to share today?
Yeah, in terms of you can save pre-tax and on a tax favored basis as a small business owner, and you can do that through certainly an individual retirement account that allows you to put up to $6,000 if you're under age 50 or $7,000 if you're over age 50. And then there are also Roth options. But one that people overlooked is doing a SEP, which is a simplified employer plan, where you can put 25% and the aggregate on that is over 50,000. So if you are someone that doesn't have employees and you're doing it yourself, and if your 25% is greater than that 6,000 threshold, I would highly encourage you to put money aside in the retirement plan, because your contribution that goes in there will be deducted from your taxable income this year. And then it will grow completely tax-free or tax deferred through the accumulation. And you won't pay taxes until retirement when you take it out. But having money in retirement is essential for every woman, because if you think about it, as women, we live so much longer than men. We tend to times take jobs or go out of the workforce that will change the accumulation of benefits we have in Social Security. And we tend to prioritize everyone else that we don't pay ourselves. So statistically, women need more resources. And the only way it's going to happen is if they take a small step forward and train themselves into behavior of accumulation. So they have options. They're worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. They're completely worth it. Completely worth it. And if we also hear so frequently that people are stepping into creating this second income opportunity for themselves because they want to create a legacy for their family, because they want to do something different. Well, that actually starts today, especially if you've got kids, because they're watching what you do. They're listening to what you say, but they're really watching what you do. And so if you can start creating those disciplines for yourself, creating the disciplines for the people that you're leading and mentoring, and allowing those around you to see you doing that, even if it's a small amount, that's really setting an example that can change the course of what we're doing. And, for me, I became involved in the home-based business industry because I saw it completely as a way to help women to create their own economy. And I could probably, with Sarah, I know, get on a huge topic of, women's worth and why we should be paid equally and all of those types of things. And we can either choose to hit those issues head on, or we can choose to find new pathways to creating economy and creating wealth. And I think that's why you and I are such great friends, because we see that there's an opportunity for us to do that by teaching women financial skills, teaching them business skills, and allowing them to really set the course of their future. So thanks for being here today, Sarah. And so I'm Meredith Banka. I'm the founder of the Side Gig Gurus group, and you can always find our group of entrepreneurial women in the home-based business industry on Facebook at Side Gig Gurus. And we are so glad that you listened into this episode of Home-Based Business 101. We'll catch you all the next time. Take care.
Thank you.